So who doesn't like a good hack, right? Most of us get really excited when we learn that new thing that makes us feel good and that we can just stand back and say, hey, I actually did that. In the past, I have showed you a fantastic fashion hack to replace needing to tuck in your shirts, but still look stylish and put together. Today, I have 3 types of hacks to share with you for fashion, for home, and for parties that you are going to love. So let's get started. So the first hack we're going to start with is, you guessed it, the fashion hack. This hack is coming from an accident basically that happened to one of my Walmart shirts during washing. I got the shirt out of the dryer and it had a little rip starting at the neckline. So I thought, rather than throw it away, what can I do with that? So I created a brand new look by making some cutouts by the neckline that ended up looking even more fantastic and more edgy than the shirt I started with. So I thought it would be fun to take this plain t-shirt and jazz it up just a little bit by adding our own little cuts to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my handy dandy scissors, find a spot a little offset on the edge there of the neckline, and I'm just gonna cut just a tiny hole right under the neckline. And I'm gonna take my scissors and kind of cut up along that stitching. And then we're gonna take our scissors and cut down a little bit towards the middle of the neckline. Now you can make this cutout as big or as small as you'd like. You may wanna try it on a couple of times as you're cutting, just to kind of see what it's looking like before you decide when to quit. I'm figuring for $1, I can't mess up. It wasn't like I took an expensive t-shirt and then started doing my cuts with that. Okay, that looks like a pretty good cut. I'm gonna try that on now and see what it looks like. So far, this is what I've got. Just a tiny little rip there. What I think I wanna do is take this up a little bit higher on the side and make it a little bit of a wider cut. Here we go. We're gonna take this up a little higher over here, maybe like an inch or so. And now I want to make this area a little bit wider as well. So I want to take a chunk kind of out from the outside, make it a little bit wider. And I'm just going to follow that bottom line all the way up to have it meet the top again. Okay, so now that I cut a wider amount out of that, let's try it on again. All right, ladies, so with making one cut in this shirt, we took it from a $1 plain Jane t-shirt into something that looks a little more edgy, a little bit more fun and creative. So if you can make cuts with a pair of scissors, you can do this. And then I just tied it off to the side, and you've got a really good look. Pair this with a pair of jeans, a pair of shorts, and it looks way better than your just plain old t-shirt. Now the second hack I'm going to share with you has everything to do with parties. I know some of you are very creative out there and you like to make a good cake for someone's birthday. So I want to show you a great way to make your own cake boards. I bought 2 things from the Dollar Tree. First, I bought a foam core board. It's probably like a 1/4 inch thick on the side here. And then I bought this really pretty contact paper. They had all kinds of different patterns and styles, but let me show you what to do here. So let's say you're baking an 8-inch cake. What you want to do is take the pan that's the next size up. So in this case, I'm taking a 10-inch pan and I'm going to put it flat down on this foam core board, and I'm going to trace around here with a pencil. And because I want this nice and sturdy, I'm actually going to draw 2 circles with that same pan on the board. To cut out what you drew, I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and use that to trace around the pencil lines. I'm not going to do that right on my counter. I have an old cutting board. We just use this for this kind of reason, to cut out different things like this so that it doesn't get onto our countertop. I'm going to put my board on top of the wood. So now, as you can see, I've cut 2 holes out of this foam core board. If I had a smaller cake to do, I could actually cut more out of this board. So for $1, I'm getting to be able to make more really than 1 cake board. Here's my 2 pieces that I cut out. I'm going to put these 2 together, and then we are going to cover it with contact paper to make it look pretty. When I'm doing a cake, I always make my boards bigger than the cake that I baked. In fact, you can do this kind of thing no matter if you have a round cake, if you have a 9x13 pan, or a square pan, whatever. That's the beauty of this, making your own boards like this. You can really use the foam core board to make any size cake board. This board would really even be big enough to put a full-size sheet cake on if you had a graduation party. Now, the reason why I love using this contact paper on cake boards is because the oil from the cakes and the frosting does not discolor this. If you put a cake just on a normal foam core board like this, you're gonna see all the staining around from all of the oils in the cake and the frosting. With contact paper, it doesn't do that. So we're gonna roll out this contact paper with the back side facing up. And then I'm gonna take my 2 boards that I cut out, they're both together there. I'm gonna put it on the contact paper. I'm gonna kind of eyeball it to see how big to cut this. I want enough on each side to be able to have enough to fold over the back of this. And the nice thing about this is they've got lines on the back of this contact paper so that you can make a nice straight edge. So now we're gonna peel the back off of the sticky contact paper. We're gonna put our boards onto the contact paper, press it down, and then for a round board, we are going to start cutting little pie-shaped cuts into this contact paper, into little strips, because the little strips are going to fold over the board a lot easier on a round board. I first start out with making about 3 or 4 cuts, let's say, and then I fold those over and stick them and then cut some more. That just kind of helps the board stay in place a little bit better. Okay, so I have 4 pieces here. We're gonna make sure our boards are even together, and then we're gonna fold this over, pull it tight, and stick it to the back. And then we're gonna take the next piece, same thing, pull it tight, up and over, and stick it on the back. So that's what we have so far. Now we're gonna cut some more. And then we'll stick those on. And voila, we just created a custom-made cake board, very durable, with a cute pattern on it that is not going to have oils seeping through your board, all for $2. So hack number 3 is for the home. And basically you need about 3 different things. The first thing that I picked up is this picture frame. It's a simple picture frame. It's got a little design with some gold trim along the outside and inside. The next thing I got to help jazz up that picture frame and make it look even better, they had a whole section of little ribbons. And I really like this burlap looking ribbon. I thought it would actually go really well with this picture frame. But they had other kinds of ribbon as well. And you know what? With this idea that I'm gonna show you, even if you don't see ribbon that you like at the Dollar Tree, you could still go to Joann's, Michael's, any place like that, and pick up a ribbon of your choice that you really do like, and do the same kind of hack with the picture frame. Then you're gonna need a pair of scissors and hot glue gun. I've got my picture frame. I'm going to take this ribbon and just kind of measure from top to bottom on one side of the picture frame. I'm gonna take my scissors and cut it at that length, trim it up a little bit on this one end. And that looks like it's going to be the perfect length. Then I'm going to take my ribbon and do the same thing on the opposite side. And that's going to be perfect. Okay, 2 more magical cuts here. We're going to do the top part now. And I am going to overlap the ribbon on top of the one corner to the other. One more end to cut. And after cutting out my 4 sides, I still have quite a bit of ribbon here. This picture frame is a 5x7. Now I could get another matching picture frame, I could get an 8x10 and do the same exact design with this and have some matching frames around my living room. And now I think the best way to do this, to put the ribbon on, I'm gonna take my hot glue gun and I am going to glue a line in the very center of the whole frame there. And then I'm gonna lay my ribbon on top of that. What are you thinking, my friends? I think that looks really good, doesn't it? It really just dressed it up a lot more than just your plain $1 picture frame. So before we go on to the last organizational hack that I have to show you for the kitchen, my husband and I were at the mall last week and we happened to walk into Crate and Barrel. We were looking for some new pot holders because ours are so thin, they're old, and we just needed something new. So we saw some there, and of course they were really nice, but they were so thick that you could hardly bend them in half. So we thought, you know, something's gonna happen. We're gonna have an accident where we end up grabbing the pot holder and don't really fold it over well enough, grab the pan, burn ourselves, right? So we walked out of there with nothing. Then I'm at the Dollar Tree. And of course, they had these pot holders, 2 for $1. And the thing is, this coloring will work out perfectly in our kitchen. And look at how easy they fold. They are thinner than the ones at Crate and Barrel, but they're not as thin as our old ones that we have now that need to get the pitch. I was really impressed by these, and I thought, I need to try these for $1. They had these in several different colors. For our house, a gray really works out well, but you may go in there and see some color would be really good for your kitchen. They seem like a really good quality for 50 cents. And even if they only lasted like a month, right? I mean, I can go get some more. The other thing that the Dollar Tree carries that I just really love are these bags. They are a coated bag. I use these a lot when we travel. Maybe we're going somewhere where I can take some food, where I can take some kitchen items or whatever with us. And because this is lined inside and out with a little bit of a glossy, kind of shiny fabric, if something spills in this bag, they're perfect and very easy to clean up. They have all kinds of different designs. You could even use this kind of bag just going to the beach to pack a picnic lunch. You could use it going to the grocery store. They're very sturdy, believe it or not. Let me open this up and show you how much room you have inside. So here's what it looks like on the side. And you've got about that much room on the inside there, but it's pretty tall. You could fit a lot of different items in here. The next thing I picked up is this phone stand. There have been so many times that, let's say I'm FaceTiming with my daughter or son or someone, and I want to lean my phone up against a counter and it doesn't stay very well, or I want to film in a different angle and I don't happen to have my tripod with me. I saw this thing and I thought I could definitely use this. And the thing is, because it's portable, let's say you were out at a restaurant and you wanted to look at something on your phone, you wanted to talk to somebody, you could have this in your purse and take it with you, and it makes it way more easier to set your phone on this than it would to try to lean it up against a glass or something. You can put your phone on here vertically or horizontally as well. They had these in different designs. I liked this marbling effect. So what you do, you just fold down the back like this, This comes out. So there's these little ledges in the top here that you can decide how far back you want your phone to lean, or you can put it more forward, almost like a beach chair. And then you set your phone on here, either vertically or horizontally. I thought this was pretty cool for $1. And I love that I can put it in my purse and take it with me. So this next organizational hack is something I need bad. Wait till you see my spice cupboard. I know that some of you out there have a perfect looking cupboard where everything is all organized and neat. This is terrifying. Yeah, look at this. It's just a mess. Everything is in there hodgepodge and you can't find anything without rummaging through it all. So I'm walking around the Dollar Tree and I see these little containers. They are plastic and they're nice and thin so that you really could use these to put your spices in and maybe organize them. Now they had these in a pack of 3. And I thought, let me just pick up one of these packs and just see how this works in my cupboard first before I go buy more packs and organize the whole thing. So we're just gonna do a short little part today just to see if it neatens it up, if it makes it better. Like, you know it's gonna make it better, right? So anyways, let me use these 3 on this hot mess and let's see if we can just organize a little bit of it and see what we think. Okay, now of course I organized this while I was at it. Okay, so it's gonna look much better. But what I did, I had a container right down here for all of my oils, my cans of cooking spray, because when they get kind of oily at the bottom, I didn't want it going on the inside of the cupboard. So I bought this basket a while ago to put all my oils in. So then I organized my spices right here with those 3 little baskets that I bought from the Dollar Tree. So let me give you a closer look at how handy they made organization in my little cupboard here. So here's this lower shelf. Here's all the oils in one basket. And then in these little baskets, I've got my favorite Trader Joe, everything but the bagel seasoning, thyme, rosemary, and Italian seasoning, which we tend to use a lot of. Then the next one behind that is just garlic powders, onion powders, things like that. Back here is all of the sweet spices, like allspice, pumpkin spice, cinnamon, stuff like that. You still have to move the baskets around, but it looks so much neater to try to find something, and that they're all organized in these little baskets by category. So to me, that looks way better than it did. And in fact, I'm gonna go out and buy some more baskets so that I can organize this stuff and over here on the bottom some more. I mean, for between $1 and $4, $5, $6, you could organize the inside of your cupboard like that. It looks much neater, easier to find something, and everything goes back in the same basket that you had it in. So I hope you guys enjoyed these Dollar Tree hacks and finds, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.